Cats. Dogs, fish, turtles and birds, pigs, mice, lizards and rats, but for some generations our choice has been cats. I say some, but of course that is a downplay, as my family's bred cats for centuries, I'd say. It's a lot of hard work, their training and feeding, a proud ancient practice is our pedigree breeding. They're a part of our lives throughout all the years, but now you've arrived to meet the sweet dears. How many have come, my memory's foggy, but it is quite a lot who want a nice moggy. A feline friend, a companion of sorts, that know you so well as if they can read thoughts. They travel quite well and are good around strangers. They recognize friends and identify dangers. They add to life's joy and soothe when it's tragic, such wonderful creatures as if they were magic. We've had repeat business through good times and strife, some just cannot stand without one in their life. These wonderful cats are truly a sight, but it's just too bad that some people aren't right. There have been occasions that after a sell, they'd bring a cat home, but it didn't end well. These cats you will see are a special old breed. It's important you respect each want and each need. One gentleman came who looked a nice chap. A cat had seen him and jumped into his lap. He must have ignored some of the cat's cares, for they found his remains at the foot of the stairs. Then there's the lady with a wonderful smile. She said it was covered and she'd done this a while. We felt she was right, I'd not call her a liar, but it seems the poor dear died in a house fire. Whatever the cause, that finished their friend, the cats will come back to home in the end. But I wouldn't worry, of those few at blame, you don't seem like them, not at all of the same. They're excited to meet you, so please do come in, they'll get a read of you and your bond can begin. Just remember, be kind, to play and have chats, always be respectful and be good to your cats. Rain. A great cleansing wash that all can acclaim, how many have felt the cold kiss of rain. From deep valleys low to all mountains high, renewing the world as it falls from the sky. Reaching all nations for all that it's worth, returning to waters and feeding the earth. It feeds all the humans, the beasts and the plants, so that all life may further advance. But more to its purpose, so many would say, is to take all their troubles and wash them away. For one instance, a woman named May, she stood in the rain, and there she did stay. She'd not noticed at first, as it fell through the air, drenching her clothing and soaking her hair. There was no letting up, as the weather unfold, a chill on the breeze, and her skin became cold. The rain carried down in a shower quite strong, but May didn't move, something clearly was wrong. This lack of her mind was a cause for concern, but eventually her sense did return. The rain soaked her through, from the top of her head right down to her feet where the waters stained red. For inside of her home were her husband's remains, his blood soaked the carpet and the wall splattered stains. Years upon years she carried her shame, when he was in fact the one who to blame. He'd made little secret, meeting strange women at bars, then there of course were her numerous scars. What was it this day that invoked her be violent, to strike at that bastard and make him fall silent? She vacated her home once the deed had been done, a slow peaceful step, there was no urge to run. Her mind still replaying the revenge she had dealt. Now she stood under sky, questioning just how she felt. Her blood running hot, 'neath the cold of her skin, she'd finally broke free and no longer give in. The downpour continued, redemptive in charms. May closed her eyes and raised up her arms. Now all of the blood, her despair and her pain, just washing away in the comforting rain. Love. I felt sweeter than sugar and flew high as a dove the moment I realized that I was in love. My heart had decided before my mind could confer that she had my heart the moment I saw her. Heart beating in chest with all it could muster, I was sweating and nervous, just all in a fluster. Oh, what a feeling I just cannot express, more peaceful than morphine, more gnawing than stress. But what topped it off, and I swear it's no joke, is when she approached me and the two of us spoke. We hit it off great, a wonderful start, and well, pretty soon we were barely apart. She filled up my world with comfort and joy. It's like I was Paris, she was Helen of Troy. We moved in together and travelled abroad, seizing every adventure, not a thing was ignored. A match made in heaven, no others could beat. With her in my life, I am truly complete. I would do anything, for my heart she did touch. No gift too expensive, no request was too much. Like just for example, was a certain request. She wanted a puppy, I was at her behest. Specifically though, was one she had seen being walked in a park by some random teen. So I waited a time until I saw him no doubt, and then took the puppy when I knocked the kid out. When she saw the pooch, the sheer joy on her face, her declarations of love had made my heart race. So then, at her work, a promotion appeared, but with such competition, her chances she feared. It wasn't too hard to blackmail her boss, the others disheartened, too bad, it's their loss. Then there, of course, was her neighbour next door, a nosy old woman, and just such a bore. She bothered my love, who just wanted peace, so I promised her that her neighbour would cease. That's just what I did. There wasn't much pain, and if you asked me, yeah, I'd do it again. She'll have what she wants, for all days thereof. It's the least I can do, if it pleases my love. Grass. A rat or a snitch, apt terms you might say. We call them a grass here in the UK. This word, you may think, is an odd little term to describe such a figure, a treacherous worm. But really, I say, it's truly quite just, and if you rat out, then this title's a must. It goes back to in those old awful days when crime was too common and part of our ways. The term supergrass had come into be for those only who think of me, me, and me. A snake in the grass is just too poetic for those who betray, they're awfully pathetic. They rest there and wait and gain others' trust, all part of their scheme, it's always a must. They spill all the secrets, or as much as they gather, and tell it to coppers in their unfaithful blather. It's more than some slip voiced out by a hater. To put it quite simply, they are just a traitor. The punishment now all depends on the crew, just how severe and what they will do. This family of ours, all bastards and bitches, same rules as in prison, those snitches get stitches. One poor sorry lad, not much of a fighter, but he'd been loose-lipped, the dumb little blighter. Those who are sent to punish and scorn, a sick ugly bunch, bad luck they were born. They'd give him a chance, send him on the run, and then hunt him down for what he had done. Once he is caught, they'll deal out the pain, keeping this going again and again. They're rarely called out, this horrible lot, but then there's so few that they'll give all they've got. But this kind of person they truly despise, so they'll mark his face until none recognize. Such terrible business, a nightmarish sight, reserved for the worse, it'd give you a fright. But then some might say they'd earned this despair. All they had to do was behave as was fair. Just have some respect, some devotion and class, 'cause you know what will happen if you end up a grass. Good day, I'm Jar19 and thank you for listening. So what did you think of 4 Random Creepypastas Volume 4? Hopefully you had as much fun listening to them as I had writing them. These 4 random creepypastas were inspired by Stacee Sgotti. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Who, if you're a member of the horror family, you should follow on Twitter. Link in the description below. Right, well, from this day forth, all my 4 random creepypastas will be decided via poll on Twitter. Look at that, we're becoming more democratic by the day. Not sure how to feel about that. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then perhaps subscribe, leave a like, and if you're feeling particularly cheeky, maybe even a comment. I do hope that you'll join me again. Stay safe, sleep well, but remember, here we make monsters.